Alright guys, I have another video today. This is kind of a add-on to the other two videos I made showing you how to learn things with AI as well as how to build apps with AI. Now I'm going to show you how you can actually use AI in an app to achieve results in a business process or workflow. And in this case, I created a demo to demo how a company could use AI to analyze applicant resumes. So anytime you have a company, you have employees, and you've got to hire those employees, which means you got to look at resumes. So what we're doing here on the back end is we have GPT 4.0, and we have an area in the UI where you can add the job requirements, and then you can upload a resume, and then the app sends those to, and with a system prompt, and the system prompt says, hey, this is the job requirements and the resume, take a look at it, and then output your analysis in a particular format. And this is the format that I have defined, which I'll go through in a little bit. And that's how the app works, right? So we're using AI to analyze job requirements and applicant resumes and determine whether or not that applicant is a good fit and what are the reasons why they may or may not be. And basically we're just extracting data from that resume and matching it up with the job requirements. So let me refresh the page real quick, all right? And let's show you how this works. So you have an area where the job requirements are added. Since this is a demo, I'm just gonna load the sample job, which is a full stack developer. There's a job description that talks about, being a senior full stack developer, mentoring other people. The key responsibilities is to develop and maintain web apps, collaborate on UX UI, work on the RESTful APIs, optimize performance, participate in code reviews, mentor junior developers, etc. And then we have the basic qualifications, which is really the important part of when you're analyzing resumes, is to see whether or not they meet basic qualifications. So the basic required qualification is going to be the bachelor's degree in computer science, software engineering, or a related field, 5+ years of experience in full stack development, a strong proficiency in Java and TypeScript, experience with React and Node.js, familiarity with database technologies like SQL and NoSQL, and RESTful API design and development, working with Git, understanding CI/CD pipelines, and excellent problem solving and communication skills. Those are the basic, these are the requirements. You have to have these things. Then we have preferred qualifications. That's going to include a master's degree in computer science or a related field. So that's going, the basic requirement is going to be a bachelor's degree. The preferred qualification is going to be a master's degree. Then we have experience in cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or GCP. Knowledge of containerization, Docker and Kubernetes. Experience with microservice architecture, familiarity with Agile, contributions to open source projects, and then experience with GraphQL, right? And then it goes into like benefits and stuff like that. So because this is a demo, I've added the ability for you to just load an excellent candidate, a medium candidate, or a poor candidate, just so you can kind of compare how the results come out, or you can upload your own resume that you want to try this with. But let me show you what the actual candidates' resumes look like. So this is Alex Rodriguez. He is the excellent candidate. So let's go through it real quick. He's a senior full stack developer with 7+ years of experience. He's got skills with React, TypeScript, JavaScript, etc. On the front end, the back end, he has Node.js, etc. API design, on all that kind of stuff. Database, he has experience with Mongo, Postgres, MySQL, and Redis, so he's got a lot of that. Cloud and DevOps, he has with AWS, etc. CI/CD pipelines and etc. He's got testing experience with Jest, React, and Cypress Mocha. He worked with Git, GitHub, and GitLab. All same thing, but all good. Methodologies, he has experience with Agile, Scrum, TDD, and microservice architecture. And then we go into professional experience. So he was a senior full stack developer here for a few years, for 5 years it looks like. He was leading a team of 6 people. He designed and architected stuff, and then down here he was a full stack developer, and then he started off in 2016 as a front-end developer. His education, he has a Master's of Science in Computer Science from Stanford University, and he has a good GPA right there. Prior to that, he was at University of California, Berkeley. He was at Berkeley, and he got a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science. So you got the Bachelor's and the Master's with good GPAs from excellent colleges. So this, education-wise and experience-wise, he looks really good. And then he's got some projects, open source projects here that he has in his resume that are relevant. He's got an AWS cert, he's got a MongoDB cert, and he's got a Docker cert. So he's certified in all the technologies that we're interested in. So, and then, yeah, he's got some other cool stuff here. So very, very much a strong candidate, one would say, right? Anybody would agree. Let's see what AI thinks. So we're going to load the excellent candidate, Alex Rodriguez, and we're going to analyze the resume. Okay, so candidate overview. Alex Rodriguez is a seasoned senior full stack developer, a seasoned senior full stack developer with over 7 years of experience, specializing in scalable web apps. He is proficient in modern JavaScript frameworks such as React.js and Node.js, and has experience in cloud platforms and microservices architecture. Now, this is the cool part. We're looking at the requirement analysis, and then we're looking at preferred qualification analysis, and then we have an overall recommendation, and we've added a scoring system here, and you'll see how the scoring system changes when we have less than optimal candidates. The cool thing is, based on the way I added the system prompt and the output framework, it adapts. It's dynamic. It adapts to however you add your job description. So if you add required qualifications and preferred qualifications, if you have it named different things or you have it in a different format, this will adapt and provide the output. Basically, it doesn't matter how you put the job description. The output will come out in a table that just has the scoring and says whether or not the requirement was met, and give you a reasoning. So you can see here, this is always going to stay the same no matter like what type of job description you upload. So AI has gone ahead and extracted the requirements, the preferred qualifications and the required qualifications from the job description, created a table, and then said whether or not the candidate meets those requirements, gave it a score on how well they meet that requirement, and then added a reasoning so that you, as someone assessing this, can also see why they were given the score and why it was met. So bachelor's in computer science. So he says, yeah, is it met? Yes. The score is a 10. The reasoning is because he has a bachelor's from UC Berkeley. 5+ years, yes, 10 score, and he has 7 years. So you can see all the stuff he has a 10 out of 10, except for problem solving, you got a 9, I guess. And then preferred qualifications, he met all of them. So, this is a 10 out of 10 overall recommendation because he has a perfect 10 in both required and preferred qualification. His extensive experience, technical expertise, and leadership skills make him exceptionally well suited for this role. Let's try the medium candidate and see how that's different. So yeah, like I was saying, that cool thing is because we're using AI, we just give it a general guideline as to like how we want the output. We're saying we want it in a table, we want to extract the requirements, and then say whether or not we've met those requirements, and then give it a rating with a reason for that rating to make it very easy for us to analyze this stuff. Okay. So candidate overview. Jamie Taylor is a web developer with 4 years of experience in both front and back end development. Jamie is proficient in React.js and has some experience with Node.js with a focus on creating responsive user interfaces and maintaining web applications. So the requirement for the bachelor degree she met, you can see there, but 5+ years of experience in full stack development, no, and got a 6 because she has 4, she's close to the requirement, but not quite there. So did she meet it? No. the score is still 6. So it gives you some idea that, like, you know, it's not a 0 and it's not a 2. It gives you a rating, so you can maybe consider the candidate even though they haven't met the qualification. Because, you know, like, let's say it's 4.5 years, but everything else is really good. Do you want to disqualify them just because of that? You may still want to consider the candidate. So the other thing is experience with React and Node.js, partial, strong in React.js, basic with Node.js, which is cool that it can tell you that, and that's why I got an 8. Next, we have understanding of CI/CD pipelines, no evidence of CI/CD pipeline knowledge, and that's going to be a 3 and a no. Master's degree in computer science is a hard no, 1 because the score is 1, and that's because they don't hold the degree. Experience with cloud platforms is a partial because it's a basic experience with AWS. Containerization, etc. No, because didn't mention it. Same thing with microservices. But the familiarity with Agile is a yes and an 8 because she did participate in Agile processes. And then you can see open source projects and GraphQL are both no because there's no mention of it. Then at the bottom we have the overall recommendation. So Jamie Taylor is a competent web developer with a strong front-end skills and back-end experience. However, Jamie falls short in terms of total experience and some technical areas like CI/CD and containerization. Overall score, 6. I don't know why it says overall score 6 and then it says 5 out of 10, but to be honest with you, I just spun up this demo in like 10 minutes and I really didn't spend that much time with it, so there's going to be some issues. But yeah, Jamie shows potential but might need further development in backend technologies and additional experience for the senior role. So here we go. What do we get out of this? We got a very comprehensive analysis and easy to look at scoring system so that we can quickly see, like, does a candidate meet our requirements? Do they meet our preferred requirements? And then like a scoring system to kind of give us a little bit of a idea of like how well they meet those, and then a quick reasoning behind it. This makes it so much easier for us to analyze candidates than having to go through like all this and like read it, like process it. You know, we're just quickly going through. Eventually AI will just like do end-to-end, you know, candidate assessments probably, but for now we'll have a human looking at this stuff. So next up is going to be the poor candidate. This is going to be the person with the least amount of experience. This would be Chris Morgan, who, let's see here, 2 years of experience. These are his skills. Doesn't have skills in Node.js or they have React.js but not Node.js. It doesn't look like they have any database skills here either. He's only been working for like 2 years. Had some freelance work as a web designer and then worked here for a little while. Education is just an associate's degree from a community college in Boston. And then, you know, some personal projects here. So, you know, not quite as strong as the other candidates. And let's see what the AI has given us as a result. Let's see here. So Chris Morgan is a front-end developer with 2 years of experience, primarily skilled in HTML, CSS, and basic JavaScript. He's looking to expand his skills and has some exposure to React.js through online courses. Pretty poor. The requirements here, does he have a bachelor's degree? No. Does he have 5 years of experience? No, only 2. So, you know, he scored 1 on those. Strong proficiency? No. He got a 3 because it's basic skills and he lacks TypeScript. You got a no for the React and Node because he only has basic experience in React.js, so that's a score of 2. Everything else is a 1 because he didn't mention any of these skills in his resume. But for the problem solving, he got a partial because he did solve some problems and fixing bugs, and there's nothing mentioned about communication, so he just got a 5. Everything else here for the preferred qualifications is a no because it looks like there's no mention of any of these skills or contributions to open source projects in his resume. So the overall score that he got is a 2. Chris Morgan does not meet the majority of the job requirements or preferred qualifications for the senior full stack developer position at Tech Innovate Solutions. He lacks a necessary experience, educational background, and technical skills for the senior level role. So as you can see, what we have done here is we have used AI to enhance business process in our company. So this is an example of how AI can solve problems for clients or customers or users today, right? A lot of times people think about AI and they just use it in ChatGPT or whatever, and they're not like, how do I use it to actually like build an AI application? Well, this is a perfect example, because when we build like a resume processor, without AI, you would be doing a lot of regex. And back in the day, we used to call AI, we used to call it ML, machine learning. Now we have AI, which is based on large language models, which work differently. In a lot of ways, they're just different than machine learning models. They're just more general purpose, and they're based on human language, and so you can use it in a lot more ways. And now we have multimodal, which means you can import, PDF, docx, TXT files, or whatever, images if you want, PDFs. So, we're able to use the LLM as the core processing. We don't have to write the machine learning code. We don't have to train a machine learning model. We don't have to put a bunch of regex, rules and, make it deterministic, like if includes this, then add this, like, all that kind of stuff. We don't have to do any of that. All we do is plug and play with the LLM on the back end, and we just worry about how do we prompt that LLM and make sure that it's giving us consistent results. And that's all prompt engineering. So that's why prompt engineering is so important these days, so that you can get consistent results like this. So this is a great example of how you can use AI to build an application to help people with their business processes. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in learning on more about how you can actually build this yourself, check out my other two videos. One is going to teach you how to learn using AI as a teacher to build AI workflows, and the other video is going to show you exactly how I did this. It's going to show you how you build applications using AI, using a VS Code plugin called C-Line, which is what I used here. And I built this app. It took me like 10 minutes to build this demo. So check those videos out if you're interested. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, ask ChatGPT, but if you must, you can leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you. See you in the next video.